We're on. Hey everyone, Natissa here, and welcome to You Can Grow Too, and to the subtropics of Florida along the Gulf Coast post Hurricane Milton. This video is coming a little later than I would have wanted to, just because our power just came on the other day, and when the power is down, priorities. We need to conserve our power much as we can for phones, for communication, and just other odds and ends that we need for daily living. But now that we're back on, I can film videos and get videos out to you, but my goodness, these past couple of weeks. If you have seen my past videos, you know that I really like doing the production of them, you know, putting in music, transitions, all that, pictures. And in this video, I'm thinking more, it's probably just gonna be more of a raw video. I mean, I might do some edits and that sort of thing, but the purpose for this video is to update you on after the storm, after Hurricane Milton, because that has changed our garden and also changed this channel on what you're gonna see. So this video is just gonna be about that. This was the first time we actually ever left to evacuate for a hurricane. I've never done that. And I'll tell you what, you know, I've always wondered why some people stay and hey, why don't they just leave? And I'll tell you what, there's so much to think about when you leave, so much to consider. I know everyone always says, oh, you know, it's about just saving your life, but there's so many things you need to think about, and that branches out to other things you need to consider, and it can be a big deal if you don't cover those bases, or if something happens along the way that's out of your control. But anyways, very emotional. It was a lot, and still on a lot of no sleep, I should say. I have my notes here we're gonna cover, and I do want to say first is that we did come home to a house. I was very concerned that this room, this sunroom that I sit in here with you, this is still here. There was just minor flooding. We expected that, but it's, like I said, intact. I didn't think it would be when we got home. Everything else was very good as far as house-wise. There was just certain damages. I don't even want to say damage because that sounds so bad, but there was just odds and ends that I've never seen before with our house. But yeah, this was the strongest set of winds that had come in. It was, from my understanding, a high category 3, which is a big deal. Like I said, no power for about a week. And the big things that happened out in the garden when we got back, I don't know if I've ever showcased our shed. Well, I never really showcased it in the videos, but you've probably seen it in the background. The shed is just gone. It looks like it just exploded. My husband did tie it down, and I think that helped keep a lot of the debris in, but we have no shed. The banana forest, or I like to call it the banana forest, is completely gone. I mean, there's a banana plant up, but I mean, very damaged. And it was kind of sad because when Hurricane Helene came through, which was a couple weeks earlier, it took out my third bunch of bananas I was so proud about. I talked about it in the review video. And Milton took it out along with just about everything else that was actually flowering and starting to produce bananas. But I'll still count this as my best banana year just because I've never had that many try to make bananas. The sugar canes we have growing is gone. Probably not going to get our sugar cane syrup like I was hoping for, but we're probably just going to focus on turning those into cuttings and making more plants. And that's a thing I always want with our garden. I talk about like a survival garden, and I do think about that with our garden and what I want to happen from it. And part of that is when things do get damaged, like in this hurricane, we still have the plants on the property. I'm learning better and better how to propagate them and keep them going, so when things like this do happen, we can keep on growing. Of course, we have a lot of leaning plants. We're still cleaning up and staking things, but my prized passion fruit vine up the front yard tree, oh my goodness, Hurricane Helene damaged a lot of that vine and knocked down a lot of fruit, but Milton came and just cleaned house, so to speak. I mean, I don't think we're going to be getting any passion fruit this year. I have maybe some footage of some of the fruit that was lying on the ground, but there's way more than you are seeing here. And the vine is it's just obliterated. But the passion fruit vines seem to be resilient, so I think it will come back. Another big hit we took was when I left our fall seedlings, and our power went out, so they were in the dark without water for a number of days. And if you know about tending to seedlings, it is a daily thing, sometimes a couple times a day, just checking on everything. And yeah, I wasn't there. And I mean, I'll say, I have them all sitting around me right now. is, yeah, there's a lot that's damaged, but there was actually a lot that might pull through. We'll see. But yeah, that really took a hit. I'm wondering if we are going to have our large tomatoes. We did so well with that last year, and I was good with the timing, but before the hurricane, we were already struggling with some of these seedlings. So I don't know. You get to a point when things like this happen and you're just accepting and just, you know, whatever happens, happens. I will say with the seedlings as well, being that some of them were really damaged, like I don't think we're going to get any cabbage because I feel like the timing really has to be right with that for me. I mean, I could buy started plants, absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think I will be doing that at this point. And, you know, I was trying to do my succession sowing like I was telling you about. That's one of my big goals this season, and I think some things that were planted very early maybe some of them will make it, but I mean, there's still room for succession sowing in this season. I do want to say one thing because I was going to mention it in a video, which I'm going to be talking about in a moment, but I do want to say before this storm hit, when you've seen my past videos, you heard me talking about different timing experiments I want to do for the fall, and I wanted to try cucumbers again because one of you had mentioned about how you have success with cucumbers. I love cucumbers. I have a hard time growing them, but I did try them again, and I had success. So before this storm hit, I did get, I think it was 7 cucumbers total without the green caterpillar worms in it, which is a big deal to me. Well, that happened a lot to me, I should say, and I just want to say that that was a success. So I actually have hopes and dreams to do more cucumbers in the garden because of that. So thank you to you who had mentioned that to me and encouraged me to keep going with cucumbers, and I did. So that is the garden as far as things we're dealing with. I mean, there's a couple of surprises. What did make it through was I think my tropical zucchini sickle plant might be okay. Hurricane Helene really took out a lot of it, but I've been trying to run the vine along the ground because you can form new plants because roots grow along the nodes, and I was working on that before I even knew Milton was coming. So we might have saved it. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. The bitter melon I'm looking at right now was really attacked by fruit rats. I'm pretty darn sure we're eating the vines and really ruining it, but it looks untouched from the winds that we had. Very shocking. The cuckoozy that I have growing in the back raised bed, I like to call the Titanic beds, that was growing up, and I mean, I expected that hurricane to really take it out, and it really did take out much of the plant, but I noticed the other day that there's new growth happening on it, so we will see. I am shocked. I am shocked. Another plant I really wanted to work out, and I actually planted a lot of the seedlings before the storm was ever on our radar, was pumpkins. The one that I had planted originally that you've probably seen, I think, in the previous tours. That plant's actually looking pretty darn good considering, and I have a couple of seedlings I lost and a couple that look like they made it through, so we will see with that as well. Oh, funny enough, yeah, I don't know if I got to mention this fully yet, but our tomato seedlings, yes, were struggling, and the only tomato seedlings that really looked good were those, I'm going to put in quotes, green zebras, the variety, because I feel like it's not really a green zebra according to when I look up that variety of tomato. But anyhow, that has been the winner of seedlings, and I actually had 3 plants planted outside right before Milton, and I came home and those seedlings are still there. One of them looks like they're going to make it, and then I planted the other 2, and I'm going to plant the rest of these later today. We actually have possible rain coming in, but I got to get these plants out there. So there's still hope in the garden. I mean, it's very messed up. Thankfully, I mean, we were already in the transition of going from our summer into our fall, so there wasn't a lot going on out there. And something we did do the other day, just, you know, as a bright little note, my husband and I, despite needing to still clean things up and need to clean stuff up inside, we decided to harvest some roselle, and we're going to make our roselle jam like we do every year, and that's just nice. All right, now that I updated what's kind of happening in the garden, or maybe not happening in the garden, I want to update on what to expect in this channel. And I had mentioned throughout my series of everything I'm growing this fall and winter, and how I'm seed starting, and I was talking about doing all these seedling tours, and I did do the first fall seedling tour, and at the very end of that video I reminded you that yes, there will be a last fall seedling tour. And just too much time has passed. Between Hurricane Helene and Milton and losing power with both, it just set me way back. And when Hurricane Milton was on the way, I had that tour filmed. I had to reshoot part of that tour because I go outside and show you some of the seedlings, and like I said, Hurricane Helene took out a lot of things, and I updated that footage and everything. And then Milton was coming, and literally as I was trying to finish editing that video, my husband and I decided we needed to leave. So I just closed that computer up and just said, you know what, it is what it is. So I can't get that video out to you because everything is just so irrelevant now. It's just not going to matter. But just know that full intention on doing it. I had it going, and just, priorities shifted really fast. I also had done round number 1 and 2 of how I'm seed starting, and I kept saying how there's going to be a round number 3, and I had that all planned out as well. And I was going to take you out in the garden, and we were going to do a lot of direct sowing, and I was going to explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing. And again, when we got back, our power was out. I was able to take some footage of what we came home to, but even then that zapped a lot of my power in the battery of the phone, and we needed to conserve energy. And to be honest as well, so not only could I just not do it, but it's stressful when there's a hurricane coming and you're wondering if you're gonna have a house. And there was just a lot of feelings, a lot of lack of sleep, and I just wanted to get the garden going. So in doing this channel, I love filming, I love making the videos like I said before, but when I'm planting now with you, my brain is thinking video production and gardening, and a lot of it is the video production side I'm thinking about as I'm planting. And I just needed to be a gardener to go outside, no camera on, and just start planting between the emotions and everything, so there's not going to be a round number 3 seed starting video just because I don't have footage of it. I am going to go out and plant more, but I just need to get everything out there. I also have part number 3 of everything I'm planting filmed. I don't know if timing will allow that, because I do have other videos that actually I filmed before the hurricane that I really wanted to get out. And that's the thing, I do always plan to have a video out every week, whether it be a full video or short. I don't do many shorts, but I do some. And with the production I enjoy doing, that takes a lot of time. So I don't know if I'm going to get that part 3 of everything I'm growing out. But we are going to see a lot of those plants in the tours, because I do plan on jumping in garden tours when these seedlings are just starting to come up. So in a way, you're still going to get some of the seedling tours, because we're going to watch this garden start to grow for our fall and winter. But I just wanted to bring that up because I was talking about that, how I had all these parts and I'm going to show you them, and absolutely had it all going. But like I said, the hurricanes just kind of altered everything. There's a lot of noise going on. I do have a lot of neighbors still cleaning up and doing other house projects, so we're probably going to hear some stuff, but that's just real life once again. Let's see, looking at my notes. Experiments. I had talked about certain experiments I want to do this season. One of them was, well, actually, I don't know if I talked about this, but I did start filming a what to do with leggy seedlings, not just tomatoes, but like the big brassicas like broccolis and cabbages. And I spent all day filming a lot of that. And like I said, with the troubles with the seedlings because of Milton and everything, we'll see. I might, even if I don't do the video that I was hoping, maybe we'll just touch base on that in the season, just because I think that's important. Because, man, when you look at a leggy seedling, you think you got no hope, and really, you just got to do a couple different things to save them. So we'll see how that goes, because a lot of things got damaged. I also did, I don't think I said this, but I wanted to do a video on saving seed. I saved seed last year, fall and winter, of a bunch of different plants that can cross together. I saved the seed anyways, and I wanted to grow those plants out to you to show you that, a lot of times we can save our own seed. Yes, we're risking it being being a hybrid, which is not necessarily a bad thing at all, but we are risking the crosses of different varieties. And I just wanted to bring comfort and showing you that this is what I do all the time and all that. But again, did a lot of filming of it, and the seedlings are really struggling. Again, we'll just see what happens. I also wanted to do a revitalizing of the soil of the food containers. I did a video last year. One of my favorites is growing in food containers. Have them actually down there. I don't know if you can see them. But I was going to see if I could revitalize the soil with just using grass clippings and maybe having to add sand to it or something. I don't know. It was something I really wanted to show you. I have a lot of the footage filmed. Again, we'll see. I know I mentioned this experiment to you, and I think I can still go forward with it, but it's growing in nothing but sand, and I put certain rules for myself in order to make this accessible to just about anyone. And yeah, I'm gonna still try to do that experiment, so yeah, we'll see. That's something that's just gonna happen over the season. So yes, some experiments, like I said, had dreams of how the videos were going to go. It's probably just going to go its own way. But that is the channel if you look in the description. It is about just growing your own food through whatever you have or don't have, whatever you know, don't know, all that stuff, and how you can grow too. So this is real life, but we're all going through our real life. So yeah, that's some of the experiments I still hope to do. And we'll just see, like I said, how it goes. Some videos I do plan on doing still. I have a video that I literally planned pretty much moments before my husband and I decided to leave, and that is a shocking jicama harvest. And I will say, spoiler alert right now, is that when I say shocking, don't go into it thinking, wow, she must have got a bigger harvest than last year. No, not at all, but it was, well, I'll explain in the video of why it truly was very shocking to me. And literally as I was filming some of that video, it was moments before my husband and I were deciding we need to leave. He was actually on set with me, I guess you could say. I don't know. He was off side of the camera as I was filming, and he was actually monitoring the storm as I was doing that. So that kind of gives you an idea of the timing and the rushedness of the filming and all that. But I still want to do that video. I also filmed a sweet potato harvest that turned out way different than I thought it would, and I plan to do that video as well. And in the future, as I had said, we're going to probably just jump into the tours. And with the tours, while I'm here, I do want to say something that I'm thinking of doing. I don't have solid plans on it, but looking forward to something like this. I do tours all the time where I walk you through, I explain different things and just tell you about what I'm growing and what I did to them and all that. But this past spring and summer was my best, worst season ever, I think is what I called it. And it really was. It was a very, very difficult season. And during that time, where that's usually a time a lot of people in the United States are actually growing wonderful gardens. And I found myself watching gardens from other parts of the world where the summer is doing great for them. And I'll even admit, I even watched some of my old garden tours from the past fall and winter season just to, I don't know, keep me in the garden because I was feeling very discouraged. And I've heard people say that during their winter times where a lot of people are not able to grow, where that's my best season for growing, they watch a lot of videos as well to keep them in the garden, so to speak. And being that I experienced it for myself, that I found myself doing that a lot, I thought it would be cool not only to do the tours where I walk you through, but maybe every month or whatever, have just what I might call just a garden walkthrough, where I'm not talking, I'm just walking you nicely through the garden where you see what's growing, maybe see different pictures of what's happening. I don't know, I'll have to think on the details more later, but just more of a peaceful walk through the garden, so that way if winter time is just not your growing time, that's something that you can just enjoy, or whatever season it is. You can look back on the videos like I did. I just looked back on my old stuff and really enjoyed those videos, and it really was a lifeline for me to my gardening heart, so maybe it will be for you too. So those are some of the plans for the channel. Some things, yes, it felt the best to cancel, but then some things I felt best to have it move forward with. So there you go. I will say that sitting in the hotel room, wondering if I was going to have a house to come home to, I still thought about the garden and, really wondering what I was going to come home to with that. A lot of my dreams and hopes that I have every single season that I must just, I don't know, that real life always seems to happen. Like I said, I could easily go to the big box store and just pick up started plants and start over with some things. But the big thing that I was starting to feel was the acceptance. And that's something that I have been talking a lot about on this channel. And if I haven't been talking as much as I thought I have been talking about it, I've really been thinking a lot about it. And, just accepting what happens, because that's nature. I mean, a hurricane, that is nature. Getting to accept that, I might not get the large tomatoes I was hoping for. I might not get the cabbage that I was really, really hoping for as well. But my mind started going to a lot of the things that I'm pretty sure we will be able to have. And I was feeling more at peace about that. And I think that's more important. Also, the thing I've always been thinking about is making things more simple in the garden, juggling all these seedlings, which, I love growing so many different things, as you might know. But really, I don't know, feeling the acceptance of making things more simple and not trying to outdo myself and not letting the pressure of showing you and everybody my garden and feeling like I have to do things a particular way. Just do what I do, and I hope you come along. Realistic with ourselves and accept it. We can enjoy the garden, enjoy our life much better. So that were some of my big thoughts in that hotel room with a garden for this season. It's funny when we step out and tell people like I did, oh, no matter what's going on in your life, what don't know, don't have, hey, you can grow too. And it's funny how when we step out like that in confidence, because I truly believe that, we get tested. And I tell you what, I just came out of, for me, what was the toughest season of our spring and summer. Going into our seedlings, having some struggles with that, and then to be hit with a tropical storm and 2 hurricanes, one being a major one. I admit, I kind of felt like, man, I just don't want to go out here and do this, but you know what? I can grow too, and this is going to be the season that, instead of trying to prove to other people that they can grow too, this might be the season that it's going to be proven for me that I can grow too. So we'll see. So if you want to follow this garden as we go and as I grow, I do have an Instagram that I do go into the garden a little bit more with details, and it's another way of keeping in contact with you with what is going on. And yeah, I know, very different video for sure, but cheers to the fall and winter season that we are about to approach. Actually, we're in it right now, and I'm excited to take you along with me for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.